All right, again, I want to thank you for purchasing this 2019 year ahead reading. Again, your reading isn't predictive, but it's more so to show you the guidance, to give you guidance of what energies you may encounter throughout the year so that you can better plan your 2019 and set your goals and your resolutions, and to know what to do when. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn over your cards. I picked 12 cards, and then a 13th card in the center to give you more insight on you personally. But I picked 12 cards in an astrology spread to cover all of the various areas of your life. And so in your first card, you have the Queen of Wands. Then you have the Eight of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Fool, the Magician, the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Swords, Seven of Swords, Temperance, Page of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. So I'm already seeing that you have two queens on the, all four queens. You have the Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups represented in your 2019 year ahead reading. And the center card, which gives you a little bit more insight into you and the energy that you're bringing, is the Four of Pentacles. So give me a moment while I just sit with these cards and feel the energy and feel what message there is for you. Okay, so you have, for your 2019 year ahead reading, you have the Queen of Wands in the first house position. The first house in astrology is, the keywords are I am, meaning they really, the first house really represents where you are standing as an individual, your own, your identity, how you're identifying and how you're standing in your own personal power as far as who you are and your own awareness of who you are. So to have the Queen of Wands here, and I know that this reading is actually for a gentleman, but to have the Queen of Wands here is like you're really standing in your own power, in your own. The wands are a suit of power anyway, a suit of fire, that fire and that drive and that motivated energy. So to have the Queen of Wands in the first house in the I am position this year, and particularly at the beginning of this year, you are being asked to really come to understand who you are, and especially in your divine feminine, because again, and we talked about this even before the reading, that both men and women carry that divine masculine as well as the divine feminine energy. And you actually have a lot of feminine cards here. So whereas in 2019, you may have been all about the grind and the hustle, and the outward progression or demonstration of your energy. This year, you are stepping out into the Queen of Wands energy, which is actually able to galvanize the resources that you need to you, as opposed to you grinding hard and hustling hard to make it happen. The Queen of Wands in her power, in her highest energy, she is able to, just by, if you see if I can get this closer to the camera. I mean, you see all those sunflowers. Just by her presence, just by her radiance, her joy, her energy for life, her sweetness, she is able to galvanize the energy and the resources of others to work on her behalf. Now, she definitely has a vision. So you should definitely have a vision for what you want for yourself this year and the goals that you have. But she, with it being in this position that I am, her vision is very much connected to her presence as a person. She knows who she is, she knows what she wants, and she knows what she deserves. So this year, going into 2019, you are asked to really know who you are, be confident in who you are. Be confident in what you want and what you say you want. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. And know that some of the things that you desire will come to you because of your charm, because of your own sweetness, because of your own sometimes the Queen of Wands, when she's in reverse, can be more of a manipulative type of energy. But what I'm feeling here is that you won't have to manipulate people to do things for you and for those resources to come to you. But because others will believe in your vision, because others will see the joy that you bring to any given scenario, because basically of who you are, again, in this I am position, I am joy, I am sweetness, I am love, then because of who you are, the things that you need, want, and desire will begin to flow to you because of who you are. But you have to know who you are. You can't be fake. You can't try to do things the way other people do them. You can't try to obtain success through the way other people go about doing it. You have to be able to stand firm in who you are and know that who you are is enough. Which leads me to this second house position. The second house is, the keywords for the second house are I value. So it deals with your values, your personal values, your self-love, your self-worth also. Because when you have self-love and self-worth, having that determines what else you value in life. So if you don't value yourself, you'll probably sell yourself short. You'll probably or feel the need to hustle in a negative way of hustling in order to get what you want, because you don't feel that you can get it just on your own merit. And so to have the Eight of Swords here, the Eight of Swords is a card of restriction, but self-imposed restriction. That kind of, the prison that you put yourself in, the limitations that you put yourself in. With it being a swords card, that means that it could all be in your head, in your mind. So you may want to break free. You may want to break out. You may want to go for things that you desire. Go for to add value to your life, but you may have these beliefs going on in your mind that you can't have it, you're not worthy of it, or it's going to be too hard, it's going to be a struggle. Only you know what goes on in your mind. So here I would encourage you to really review what is going on. What are your thoughts about values? What are your thoughts about your money? What are your thoughts about what you must do in order to obtain wealth, obtain value, to create value? What are your thoughts and beliefs about the value that you bring to the table, whatever that table is? What are your beliefs about that? Do you feel that you could even advance forward and have the things that you want to have? The second house is a very material world house. So do you feel that you can't even have the things that you desire? Are there blockages when it comes to your own desires in life? So that is what the second house is saying, is that to have this Eight of Swords here is that there's something that's blocking your value from coming forward. And this may be something that you're carrying over from 2018 into 2019. And so that's up to you to break those bounds that you have put on yourself, those limitations that you have put on yourself, those self-limiting beliefs. And it's very interesting that it's sitting across from the Seven of Swords in this reading. And so they are kind of speaking to each other. So whereas the Eight of Swords is saying that you maybe can't break free, there's something holding you back that you can't break free from. This Seven of Swords is kind of contributing to that energy by saying, okay, well, we can't have what we want, so we might try to sneak around and get what we want. Or, we may do some what's the word I'm looking for? Covert operations that may not be all on the up and up, or you may not, even if they're not illegal, but, just things that, if you don't feel that you can have something or create something legitimately, you may undercut yourself. You may settle for less, or you may go about getting what you want in a way that is a little less than what you're worthy of. You may go about doing things in a way that's less than worthy of this Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands knows who she is. This Queen of Wands doesn't feel that she can't have anything. This Queen of Wands completely values herself. So you're being asked to go into 2019 with this Queen of Wands energy, knowing who you are, in the upper level of the Queen of Wands energy, meaning knowing who you are and knowing that just your very presence, just your very your own personal essence, if you will, who you are, is worthy of having the best and worthy of having the best come to you. So any self-limiting beliefs that are still lingering here in this Eight of Swords energy, which I'm believing is from 2018, things that you're carrying over, because this Eight of Swords can't believe, there may be a part of you that is having a hard time believing that you have this Queen of Wands energy. And so here you come, you burst into 2019 with all of this powerful, I know who I am. I know my own personal sweetness, my own personal joy, my own personal radiance that I'm bringing. And then right after that, you slump back into this Eight of Swords energy, or this Eight of Swords energy is trying to hold you back. So you're encouraged to stay in this energy, this Queen of Wands, and not go into this Eight of Swords. Actually, and the Eight of Swords is boundaries and limitations that you put on yourself. They're not boundaries and limitations put on you by other people. They're boundaries and limitations that you put on yourself, or you have believed and allowed to be put on you, and you have locked yourself down. So you are being encouraged to break forth, to break free from that. In the third house position, you have the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is a card about planting good seeds and knowing for certain that they are coming to fruition. So in this first half of the year, you're coming to an understanding of who you are. You're coming to an understanding of your capabilities. You have self-limiting beliefs that may peek their ugly little head, but you can break forth from them and realize, wait a minute, I have good that I have planted in the ground, good ideas, good dreams, good goals, your New Year's resolutions, your new life resolutions, right? And so you planted good seeds already in 2019, or maybe you have some good ones from 2018 that you're waiting to come to fruition. And it may be this Eight of Swords is making you think that it can't come about. Or maybe this Eight of Swords that's trying to keep the good that you have created in your life from manifesting as you want it to, because the Seven of Pentacles is a card of not having the full harvest yet, not having the full manifestation yet, but knowing that it's coming because you have planted the seeds. You have done the good work. You have started the on the path, and what's left now for you to do is to receive, is to wait to receive the good that you have already planted, the good that you have already nurtured and watered. It's very interesting that this Seven of Pentacles is in your third house position, because the third house is all about communication, how you speak, write, talk. So with it being in communication, you're being asked to speak positive words over the seeds that you have planted. If you have gone back to school, for example, or you're up for a new position, speak positive words over your efforts. I know that I'm worthy of this position. I know that I can achieve the goals that I've desired. I know I'm, halfway through earning my degree and it's getting tough, but I know that I can continue forth because I planted some good seeds here. So I expect a harvest. I expect the harvest that I planted, right? So you have to begin to speak the words over the seeds that you have planted and watch the good that you desire begin to manifest for you. All right, so in the fourth house position, you have the Fool. And I like the Fool card because the Fool card is all about taking chances. The Fool card isn't concerned about all of the rules and regulations of life. The fool on the card is a person who is doesn't have all the answers, doesn't know where they're going necessarily, but they know that they must go out and experience the world and come across new experiences. Nothing is planned. It's all spontaneous, and they don't know everything. And that's kind of why the fool is the fool, because he doesn't know everything. But he's on his journey. You see, he's got his walking stick and his other stick with his bundle of supplies to last him. And of course, yes, the fool can be foolish and totally mess up. But at the same time, the fool is all about going on the journey to see what life will bring. With the fool being in the fourth house position for you, the fourth house is all about your home, like your literal home, what you find comforting, your what is nurturing to you. It could also be about mothering and motherhood. So this could be connected to your own mother, or even though you are a man, but how you parent your children. And so with the fool here, you're being asked to, you may have always played by some sort of rule book. You may have always done things a certain way. And the fool here is saying that, you don't know everything. So try something different. In your parenting, since this is in the fourth house, in your parenting, just have fun with it. Just, don't be so bound by, these are, the rules. This is how everything has to be done. This is how a house is supposed to be ran. It's up to you to decide how a house should be run. Nobody can make that choice for you. And the fool knows that he will be okay. The fool is on a journey and trust that, everything will work out, yes, with it being in the fourth house. So yes, you do, I'm not telling you to totally uproot every rule that you have for your home, or totally uproot every, to do things that are irresponsible to your home or to your children, or, against your family or yourself, but to kind of loosen up a little bit, don't, perhaps you may have even brought some of the stresses that you had from your work life and your career life into your home. And so the fool is saying, this is the time to kind of, let some of that go, and don't be so stressed about it. And it's very interesting that the fool is sitting across from the page of wands. They're sitting across from each other. And the page of wands energy is very youthful. He's very young. He's the page of wands and the career position is like, hey, is that youthful energy that says I can do anything and still be successful. I don't have to play by the rules. I don't have to know all of the rules. All I have to know is that I have a great desire to do something, and it can manifest. And so in home and career, it's like you're being asked to, yes, still keep certain rules. Yes, still have a formula if it works for you, but also know that there's some parts to your success in home and career that you just can't plan. And so you have to have fun with life. If you do everything the way that it has always been done and you don't even know why, then you are shortchanging yourself. You're not allowing new ideas to flow. You're not allowing new ways of doing things to flow. It's like, as I'm saying this in my mind, I'm picturing like children running through puddles of water after it rains, and most parents are like, no, you can't run through that water, you gotta, don't mess up your shoes, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that. And it's like, I see you being able to just be carefree like a child, or with your own children, just breaking some of the rules, and it's like I almost see your own children saying, thank God dad is like not as hardcore and strict like he used to be. And that's actually going to open up the floodgates of love to, because now they know that they can come to you about anything, and you'll lovingly direct them, as opposed to just getting on them every time they do something that's quote wrong or bad, because they know that dad is a human. He's a human, and sometimes he wants to go running through the puddles of water, he wants to go jump in the snow, or he wants to get on a swing and just be carefree on the swing in the park. So you are being asked to be a little bit more carefree, when it comes to your home life and your career there, and also in your parenting, and also you may, even in doing so, you may show your own parents that, that your way of parenting is just as good as their way of parenting. Right? So anyway, all right, so we're coming to our first major arcana card in the 5th house position. You have the Magician. I love this card. Some people talk about the Magician, as far as like being a trickster in some kind of ways, but the Magician to me puts the power in your hands. The Magician has all of the tools in the tarot deck. He has the Pentacle, he has the Cup, he has the Wand, and he has the Sword, meaning whatever is needed to manifest or create whatever it is that you want, you have those resources. The Magician tells you that you can create whatever you want. Even if what you want is destruction, then you can create that, because the power is in your hands to create and manifest whatever it is that you want to create. And if you don't have what you want, then it's no one's fault but your own, because you have all of the tools here. The Magician being in the 5th house position, the 5th house is the house of creativity. It is the house of creativity. Your own how you are creative as a person, and even your creations, meaning your children, anything that you create, from art to a proposal at work to save your company money, something you created in your own mind, whatever, that's part of the 5th house. The 5th house is also the house of fun and pleasure, and like I said, creativity. It is where you shine, how you bring your own personal shine to the table. And so to have the Magician here, the Magician is saying, however you want your 15 minutes of fame, you can have it. However you want to shine, you can shine. You have the tools, but you have to call it forth. Again, going back to this 3rd house position, you have to begin to call forth what you need. If you need Sword energy, which is information, data, clarity of mind, peace of mind, you can have that. If you need Wands energy, which is that fire energy, which is about passion, which is about drive and motivation and taking charge and moving forward, then you have that energy as well. If you need Cup energy, which is all about your intuition and your emotions and your feeling, and that water energy, that heart energy, you have that as well. If you need the Pentacles, which is money, resources, material resources, human resources that help you, anything on the material plane, then you have that as well. All of those things, all of these are being given to you to bring you everything that the 5th house governs, which is pleasure, joy, fun, love, and creativity. All right. So you have whatever it is that you need in order to bring that about into your life, which brings me to this 8 of Cups energy sitting right next to it in the 6th house. And the 8 of Cups, it's interesting that this person is looking at the Magician, because the 8 of Cups really is about walking away from things that no longer benefit you emotionally, things that no longer fulfill you emotionally. Like you have all of these 8 cups, all of these ways in which you should be satisfied, or people are telling you maybe, or you're maybe telling yourself that you should find pleasure in and you should be happy with, but you're just not happy with it anymore. And this person is looking towards the moon because they're going within to find what really makes me happy, what really brings me joy, what really brings me emotional fulfillment. What is it that I'm doing now that's just not cutting it anymore? And so this person is facing the magician here, and that's like the saying, okay, I have to go within, or you have to go within to find all of those tools, all of the tools that bring you emotional fulfillment. You have. And again, going back here to this Eight of Swords, you may not have believed that you have it, or you may be holding yourself back in some kind of way. But this magician and this Eight of Cups are saying that no, you have what you need in order to create the life that you desire in 2019. But that's up to you. You have to be willing to walk away from things that no longer fulfill you emotionally. It doesn't matter what they are, because if you look here, the Eight of Cups, they're all still upright. They're still filled. And so sometimes we get into this trap in life where we say, well, I can't complain because I do have, all my basic things, all my basic needs. And that's all well and good. I'm not saying don't express gratitude, but be honest with yourself in the ways in which you are no longer satisfied, in the ways in which you no longer find joy or personal fulfillment. The sixth house is all about your daily habits, your daily routines, those little rituals that we all create every single day, that over time they build up our days, our weeks, our months, and our year. So, a lot of times, not a lot of times, but all the time, a great year is based off of creating great daily habits. If you want a great 2019, that means your day-to-day habits need to be great. They need to be, I don't care how small they are, even if it is just every day you wake up for 5 minutes and do a 5-minute workout. That is a daily ritual, a daily routine that over time builds physical health and physical stamina that helps you to have a healthy 2019. Or creating a daily habit of drinking 1 extra cup of water every day. Over time that builds, what is the saying? Rome wasn't built in a day, So the sixth house is all that kind of energy. It's all that little mundane day-to-day stuff that we either dread doing or we don't even realize we're doing. It's those little habits. Their habits are nothing but rituals, daily rituals that we create for ourselves. And so, and once something becomes a habit, it runs on your subconscious mind. So you don't even realize that you're doing it every day. What are the words that you are habitually speaking that are creating this unfulfillment? What are the foods that you are eating that are maybe creating some sort of lackluster feeling in your body? What kind of people do you just kind of find yourself around because you've been with them, you're around them your whole life, that has just slowly over time brought you down? In 2019, you are being challenged to walk away from those people, places, things, habits, words that are no longer beneficial to you. And get in the power seat. You have the magician here that's saying, hey, you have the power to create whatever it is you want. And you don't know that even in elevating yourself, even in saying, I will no longer accept having a lackluster life, and saying that, and no longer accepting less than you deserve in 2019, you don't know, just you doing that small, simple act of saying, no, I will not accept less of myself and less of others, just taking that small act will, how that can elevate your friends, the people who are around you. Because I will tell you this, there are people who are watching you who will never admit that they are paying attention to the things that you do, the things that you say, the people that you hang around. Everybody has people who are kind of watching them that you will never know are even watching you. And just your elevation, because you may be afraid of leaving some people behind, but actually it is your elevation that may cause them also to elevate. Now, you are not responsible for their elevation, but you having the courage to walk away from what no longer serves you in 2019 may cause other people to level up as well. And so the people that you are afraid of losing, you may not lose them at all. They may actually level up with you, But again, this is your choice. You have to do it for you. And what you know, may be afraid of losing, or afraid of walking away from, or just being afraid of saying you're not satisfied with, for out of fear of being seen as ungrateful. You never know that actually puts you in the power seat, and will take your 2019 and 2020 and 2021 on down the line up to a level that you never thought you could ever have in your life. All right. And so with this Eight of Cups sitting across from the Queen of Cups, who is the queen of intuition, the queen of the emotional wellness, you know, she is saying, like, look, step away from what is those habits and those behaviors and those people and those that way of being that is no longer serving you, because when you step away from it, there's so much more emotional fulfillment for you on the other side. All right. And so then that brings me to the Queen of Swords in the 7th house position. And so the 7th house is the house of partnerships, of how you connect on a one-to-one level with other people. So how you connect, you know, with your partner, like you're, you know, in a husband-wife situation, or boyfriend-girlfriend situation, whatever, a partnership situation, or even on a like anything that deals with contracts that you have to sign that brings you into connection with someone else. All right. And so we will talk more about that coming forward.